is Aromie here. Welcome back to our life. We are now going to continue on to the game, leaving step 1 behind. Yes, we're going to the next step. I'll never get tired of that view. You stood beside your moms and Lizzie as the four of you watched the sun dip into the ocean somewhere far, far away. You'd like to imagine it was cooling off in the water, resting itself before getting ready to shine brightly again tomorrow. That was a fun day. I didn't know they had magicians on the shopping street now. Neither did I. Oh no, we are so dull. Let's get out more. He didn't do real magic, Mom. How did you figure that one out? Because I know. That's not what real magic looks like. Okay, what does it look like, Lizzie? Oh, Lizzie dear, there's all kinds of magic in the world. Lizzie gave Mommy a suspicious look, but didn't dispute the claim. Well, we can't sit out here all night. Time to hurry home and get cooking. Who's helping with dinner? Lizzie immediately let out a groan. Mom, summer's almost over. The protest was obvious. You could practically see school on the horizon. You certainly didn't want to spend your last bits of freedom cooking dinner. You could do that any other day. Please can you play just a little longer? We have to keep playing before it's too late. It is almost over. You put on your best puppy... Put on my best puppy dog eyes. Oh, don't look at me like that. Like what? Soon we'll have homework and reading to do. We can't do work now, too. Lizzie made her case and then stomped her foot into the ground. You mimicked her, feeling that would add something to the argument. Well... No. Oh, come on, Pam. I can help you with dinner. Mommy leaned in for a hug, and you knew that they were very close to victory.
Okay.
Alright. But as soon as dinner is ready, you lot are coming inside, understood? Yes, Mom. Alright, nice. So much to do, so little time. Maybe I could still get the seashell bracelet at Tines and Trinkets. Trinkets, not trinkets. Trinkets. Oh, or maybe the playground, where the fireflies would probably be coming out, right? Do I get a say in this? You suddenly made your own plans? We can't go too far, I'm going home. I'm making my own plans. Lizzie had her own ideas of what she wanted to do. What were you going to do? A strong gust of wind made you shiver. Lizzie huffed as she wrapped her arms around herself. Doesn't the wind know that summer's not over yet? That's all Lizzie said before abruptly turning on her heel and heading off in the direction her mother's had gone. Where are you going? I'm going to my room. I have lots to plan if I want to make the most of tomorrow. You thought this over. Looking off towards the water again, Lizzie didn't wait, and before long she was disappearing off down the road. I'm staying outside. You watched Lizzie run off, twisting her lips as you considered what to do. And then the pretty sky and the soothing sound of waves went out? Yeah. You strayed off the path, grinning at the feel in the sand, quickly filling in the empty space in your flip-flops. That was fun for a while, but you grew bored eventually. How else could you enjoy the remainder of your time at the beach? Look for seashells, drew in the wet sand, you roamed around. Let's look for seashells. You walked to the shoreline, peering at any debris that washed up. Most of it was seaweed, rocks, and trash, though now and then you'd spot a seashell. You picked up the ones that stood out to you until you had a nice little collection. It was a great evening, but soon enough you had your fill and were ready to join the rest of your family back home. Not too much farther down, you spotted a familiar green head of hair moseying along the shore. You went to see... You kept going! You went to see what Cove was up to. Curious, you strayed off your path and walked over to him. Cove knelt down, picking up something you quickly identified as a smooth rock. Hello, Cove! He looked depressed, as usual. He reared his arm back, then tossed it out into the river. You were impressed over how far he got it to go. It sailed way out into the sea. It was a pretty good toss. That was pretty neat. It wasn't a long throw, but he didn't care to try for that. The rock sunk, kind of, like a rock fell back down almost right after he tossed it. I like to imagine he's pretty good with that. You can't skip rocks in the ocean. What are you doing? You look for your own rock? I want to look for my own rock. Deciding to join Cove, you searched nearby for any rocks or shells that you could throw too. Cove jumped a little when he noticed you, and you gave a shrug and a smile, realizing you'd sort of forgotten to announce yourself. You found a shell that would suit your purposes. The smile growing, so you tossed it as hard as you could. It landed with a wet-sounding thunk a few feet away and slipped down into the water. When you looked over at Cove, he didn't seem to notice that his throw had been more impressive. It's because it's usual to him. It's the norm, it's just being so great at it. Cove was looking down at his cast, scratching idly at the pink surface even though you're pretty sure he couldn't feel it. His brows were furrowing and there was a frown on his face.
It's not fair.
I've had to wear this cast for ages. I can't even swim. Well, when do you get it off? Cove shrugged and didn't say anything. For a second you thought maybe he didn't know, but he finally sighed. A few weeks. That is not very long at all. That is a while away. You didn't think a few weeks was that bad. A few weeks could be like, what? 2 weeks? But as a child, that feels like forever, so... You thought for something else to say, something positive, but words wouldn't come as was usual for you. Go let a huff, plopping down into the sand. can't believe summer's almost over. You sat down next to him, nodding in agreement, regardless of the sudden topic change. I don't want to go to school. I mean, I would. I don't want to go to a new school. I think it'll be the same school as you and Lizzie. My dad said something about that. So why don't you want to go? It's nice as far as school goes. You'd only ever been to one school, but you were sure that his old school couldn't have been that much better. Then again, he did have to make new friends and meet new teachers. It could be kind of scary. Cove shook his head, then wrapped his good arm around his knees as he drew them to his chest. You heard a sniffling sound, and when you took a good look at his face, you realized that his eyes were wet.
I want to go home.
I'm sorry, Cove. You weren't sure what to do. It felt really weird to just leave him here crying. Don't be savage of me. But what could you say that would help? You found a little, staring to the sand. Okay, well, bye then. I'm just leaving. Why am I just leaving? Cove gave his head a small shake. No, I want to go back home. Oh, I thought he meant, oops. I thought I was leaving, but okay, I'm leaving then. Right, Cove wanted to go back to his old home. The one that sat waiting somewhere far from here. The one he would bring up whenever he felt this sad. It had been a while since he had moved in, but he didn't seem to feel any better about being here. He settled back down into the sand, trying to consider what to do. Do you hate it here? This can be your home. It'll be alright. Do you hate it here? Cove's brows furrowed even more. Then he shook his head. You're not going to leave, right? You'll still be around? The question was a little surprising. Of course. Your parents would have mentioned if you were going to move or something, right? After a second, Cove gave a little nod. Once I get my cast off, we could go swimming. I like how it says we. You were fine with him changing the subject again. Okay. You had to say swimming did sound fun, even if it was already getting chilly out. Cove smiled and looked... Cove, you're giving me mixed signals. Like, I don't know if you like me as like a friend or you just deal with me because there's no one else. My dad keeps saying I'll get used to everything eventually, that I'd feel better that. It used to make me angry. I didn't want to get used to everything. You spared a glance over at Cove and see the anger had slipped off his face in favor of something almost puzzled. But maybe that will be okay after all, as long as I really do feel better. I can't see it. The two of you sat quietly, just taking in the sounds of the waves. Lost in thought, you startled a bit when you heard a faint, familiar sound. The sound of your mom shouting your name. You looked over your shoulder, realizing it was probably time for dinner. Had you guys really been sitting out here that long? You stood and dusted the sand off of yourself. My mom's calling. It's time for dinner. You should come. Cove looked up at you, expression screaming reluctance. Yet ultimately, okay. When you smiled, Cove returned with one of his own. But the two of you couldn't stay there in your own little world any longer. You were being called forward. So the both of you ran off towards your house, leaving the waves and summer behind. Oh. In between? Ooh! Alright, I'm a teenager now, right? Let's get my hair a little bit longer now. Alright, my girl has upgraded. Oh wait, I can change Cove. Is this Cove? Oh wait, this is my feelings. I haven't changed my feelings for him. No wonder we weren't doing so well. Is this my comfort with him? Oh well, no shit, I was having a hard time. Alright, we're teenagers now, so we're gonna be relaxed, and our interest for him is we're teenagers now. Let's this middle bar, you know, middle bar. I don't want to wear glasses, but teenager me did have glasses before, I turned into an adult and got LASIK eye surgery. So here we go. Ooh, what is this? Oh, I could change Cove. Should we change him? Oh Jesus, his hair is so red. Should we give him glasses still? Let's be glasses friends, alright? Sure. Should I make him like... I don't know what to make him actually. Oh, a scar. I forgot how he got a scar. I think it was like an accident in the water. Hey, you wanna wear a necklace? Just necklace him all out? Okay. This is fine. I'm not taking the pants though, like... change his PJs? Well, he doesn't have to wear glasses in PJ mode. Oh. Yo. Jacket. What's jacket? I don't know. Alright. Done with that. Oh, wait! I didn't change his personality. Uh-oh. Oh, well. I don't know what personality Cove has, but... let's just leave whatever he had. I don't... August ended, September began. It was time to go back to school. Oh my god, I'm really kind of stressed though. I didn't know what personality he was. You know what? I'm gonna go back. I said I don't want to, but I'm gonna go back just so we can see. I just realized I can have acne. I didn't have acne as a kid though. I got acne as I became an adult. Oh, I can have braces, bro? Again, I didn't have braces when I was a kid either. I got it when I was an adult. Alright, done with me. Okay, so he starts... well, for me, he's warm and he's sporty. I don't know how he turned out like that. I don't know if this is already set like this, but you can change his personality. I'm gonna keep him warm. Or I don't want to keep him cold. Maybe I should keep him cold, because I usually go for the cold types. Should I? But I feel like we grew up in the neighborhood together. We're childhood friends, you know, so he's not gonna stay cold with me. It would make sense if he's warm. He can be sporty. I mean, I usually don't go for the sporty types, but I'll just keep it like this. Whatever. I'll keep it like that. Lizzie groaned and complained the entire first week. She hated going to classes, though there were interesting things to do that couldn't be done anywhere else. You weren't sure how Cove felt about it. He was enrolled that year. That was like a sign Cove would be staying in Sunset Bird for a while. At school, he was alright, but kept his distance from the other kids, from what you saw anyway. Originally, he treated you like everyone else, passing by as if you didn't know each other. But as the years went on, the two of you acknowledged each other more and more. Damn, okay, so he already was cold to me prior, alright? Our friendship had started to grow. Oh, I fucking hope so. That year, the divorce of Cove's parents was finalized. You overheard your parents talking about it, saying Cove's dad got full custody. At first, you were worried that meant bad news. It had made Mr. Holden cry, apparently. Then you found out what it meant Cove would keep... Wait, what? Then you found out it meant Cove would keep living with his dad. He would only stay with his mom a few weeks of the year. Cove cried too, for different reasons, you thought. It seemed like Cove and his dad might move again, but Mr. Holden decided to stay after all. Mom asked him about it once. He had said he didn't want to uproot Cove's life a second time. Mr. Holden tried to get Cove to like Sunset Bird more. He kept encouraging his son to go out and see the place. Sometimes Mr. Holden volunteered you to spend time with Cove. You weren't sure how well it worked in changing Cove's thoughts on the town, yet it might have been for the reason you and Cove ended up growing closer. Cove never talked to anyone about what happened with his parents and withdrew whenever it was brought up. It was hard for him, yet nobody knew how to help. Eventually, Cove stopped crying on his own. You could understand what had changed. Still, you worried about him. You could tell he wasn't completely happy. Maybe one day he could say out loud what he felt inside. After that, it felt like things had gone back to normal, except what was normal didn't stay the same. Years passed and suddenly you were in middle school. You weren't a kid anymore. You were 13 years old. That officially made you a teen, even if your sister didn't agree. The toys and crayons that used to litter every free space in your room had been packed away somewhere, replaced by new hobbies. There were other changes too. Cove's cast got taken off. It was weird to see him without it initially. Underneath the pink plaster ended up being a long, thin scar that snaked across his forearm. Cove's chest puffed out in pride when someone drew attention to it. He also went through a major growth spurt. He was the tallest student in his class for 2 years in a row. Cove will probably hold that spot again next time. In class, people knew him for more than just being tall. He also stood out because of how well he did in gym and other athletic situations. Over the years, he had begun opening up more too. You saw him talking amicably with other kids or neighbors from time to time. Cove's growth. And the only kid that came to visit the neighborhood when you were little, Shiloh, well, he was gone. He and his mom moved back south because of her work, just 1 year after Cove came to Sunset Bird. It had been really upsetting when he left. Lizzie was inconsolable for weeks, but nobody had talked about Shiloh anymore. It was a long time ago. You learned some heartbreaking things became less sad the further away they were, even if they had never gotten any better. That was sad in its own way. Things at home were different too. You still live in the same house and all that, but it wasn't how it was before. Ma dyed her hair purple, wanting something new, and liked it so much she kept dyeing it. Me, currently wanting my hair to be pink, but I might go blonde again. And then keep that up so that I can get pink eventually. You remember calling her mommy as a kid, but something like that seemed awkward nowadays. You were too old for the word. The fuck? No! I'm 20 plus, I still call my mom mommy. Lizzie felt too mature for her nickname too. She insisted on everyone calling her Elizabeth, so you did. Your mom soon gave her permission to go places other than the playground and shopping street, which she took advantage of. You rarely saw her around the old neighborhood. In fact, she hardly spent time with you the way she did before. Elizabeth instead associated more and more with girls in school who were her own age. Maybe the difference between 13 and 15 was greater than the difference between 8 and 10. You started befriending new people yourself, like Derek Suarez. He didn't live in the neighborhood or go to the same school. What happened was his and Cove's dad struck up a business partnership a few months ago. Since then, Derek would pop up in the area now and then. It seemed Mr. Suarez was happy to let Derek tag along to his work, if Derek had time for it. I don't think Derek is a potential dateable character in the future expansion. I don't think so. Without a doubt, everyone and everything around you had changed in small and big ways. You had too. As time went by, though, it was easy to settle into this new normal. Then before you knew it, school was over and summer vacation had come again. But this is where we are going to end today's episode. So we have a warm, sporty cove, and look at my new room, actually. Yo, girl, clean up that laundry hamper basket thing situation you have right here. Please clean it up. Personally, my room wouldn't be like this at all because my favorite color is pink, so it'll be pink everywhere. I would have kept those stuffed animals. I would have kept those drawings, but she has like one painting here, so that's nice. Very oceanic theme here. She needs to clean her hamper though. But anyway, this is where we're gonna stop for today's episode. We're now moving on to step 2, where we're all teenagers now. I don't remember what step 3 was. I don't know if they're like 18 at that stage. I have no idea. Adults? No idea. But anyway, thank you guys for watching today's episode. Stay beautiful, and I'll see you guys in the next one.